Now in part 3 of this review, I have him mounted on the action base, which I have shown earlier. It's just attached to the crotch. I have taken his hands away just for me to show you something cool later. Basically, I just kept his beam rifle in, and I have removed everything else. So what I'll be doing is I want to experiment and see if I can use the accessory from the Master Grade Strike Gundam. Now you're saying it, didn't I went over that already? Yeah, sure. I only went over that the Aile Striker pack are not compare because they have different attachment points. But what about the parts from the Launcher Strike and the Sword Strike? So let's see if you can do so. Now I have right here the Gatling gun from the launcher, so that's what I'm going to be doing first. That's why I have it on an action base, so easier to figure with. Now first I'm going to detach this part right here. Let's go a little bit high up just to see. I'm gonna, even though his elbows can come up like this, I'm gonna do so without having it to come up. Hear that nice satisfying snap? Now from the back, gotta reattach the back piece that I detached, and voila. So far so good. One piece down is stable. Now the next piece I'm gonna do is the outer elbow for the Sword Strike. I'm gonna detach this boomerang because I know it's gonna come off if I try to do it with the boomerang. But this one, I don't have to detach the back of it. I'm gonna go all in one piece. I'm gonna have the middle part go in first, which unfortunately there's no real attachment. Unless I gotta take it out here. There's really no attachment. I'm just trying to have it settle in and then cram on with the other pieces. Oop. That didn't go well. So trying it again. Keep in mind, it's actually pretty hard to do over the camera because it's not really an official gimmick. The trick is try not to force it. If it doesn't fit, don't force it because something's gonna break on you. So for now, this is the best I can do while on camera. Still, it's not gonna come off easily unless you turn it upside down or something. So putting the boomerang back up. And what's next? Next, I'm gonna try to make him use the sword, and the hand I'm gonna choose as the beam saber hands that I show off in part 1 of the video. Now, as I explained, this is actually an all-in-one piece, not like the Master Grade in which the 4 fingers will come off from the cover. This is all in one piece, so unless you really abuse it, nothing's gonna come off. The plastic is very high quality plastic, so I'll just slide it like so. It's very loose here, but if you make him slide up, it will look very stable. And of course, now you can reattach with the arm like so. Actually he holds his anti-ships up much better than the Master Grade. If I try to shake it, it'll definitely come up because there's no latching mechanism for the Master Grade. There are no holes or peg here that the Master Grade hands can take advantage of. So this is actually holding a lot better than the Master Grade. I found that a little bit funny, that the sword that was designed for the Master Grade model does not work as well as the one that's not designed for, which is for the Metal Build. I'm sure Bandai does not intend to do that, because now I don't have to buy a Sword Strike Metal Build. So using the same idea, I figured the handle of the launcher strike into the Cole's hands, and then I reattach it to the launcher as a whole. Actually, I'm gonna do that last. I'm gonna put this hand back on him first. Oh, wow, almost came off. Almost dropped it too. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to see if I can do a better job on attaching the shoulder of the Sword Strike shoulder. So I'll be right back. So off camera, I managed to put the shoulder attachment for the Sword Strike on his left shoulder a little bit better, actually a lot better, by going through this hole right here that's caused by that opening latch gimmick. So now it's actually not going anywhere. It's almost as stable as the launcher, but the launcher is actually still more sturdy than this. But it's not at least it's not coming off. Now going back to the launcher itself, the launcher Mega Cannon, I figure just like I did with the sword here, I did the same over here with the handle of the launcher, and we attached this piece back on the launcher itself. If I can find where it is. There it is. This can still be tricky trying to get it under his armpit. But once you get it in, it stays that way. So I present you the sword and launcher strike. Well, almost anyway. Put this boomerang back in, and unfortunately, the attachment for the hook does not go in because I'm gonna show you. It's getting hard to show you now because I got a lot of stuff on it. I'm gonna put the camera closer. So see this hole right here? I was hoping that it will attach to this directly, but unfortunately it does not, because this was in the way. Unlike the shield that has a longer connection, it got this whole thing in here. This is from the shield. This whole part can go right in, so you can tell this is longer. That's why it works with the shield, but does not work with the cannon, with the Hawk, I mean. So what I did was I used spare parts from my other model kits. Gotta zoom back out a little bit. I use a piece of wood. I'm sure there are probably better ways to do it, but right now, without overthinking too much, this is how I'm gonna do it. So since it's made of wood, I don't expect it to break the model, because the model is made of die cast, so there's no way wood can break die cast. So with that piece of wood in place, I can attach right in this hole right here. I can do a little bit better. Nope, lastly, don't forget the hook attachment. I'm not gonna test it with the string, because right now it's not very sturdy. Probably have to come up with a better way to do this. This is not really how it's supposed to be, but for now it will do. So with that in place, and zooming in a little bit, the salt and launcher strike is complete. Now instead of, maybe I can mount the shield if I choose to do so, still on his left arm, and then have the hook on the short side, but I'll do that. Now, before I'm gonna attach the Aile Strike onto him, I want to find a way to utilize this hole right here for the battery. Unfortunately, Bandai does not make it easy for me, because the connection point for the master grade is actually, it would have been up there, but this hole is more like on the side, on the back, because this is really designed for the action base, not for the battery. So again, using a little bit of imagination and creativity, I took one of the spare parts, which this piece, if you recognize it, right here, focus. There's that pieces that you most likely gonna have a lot of spares unless you throw them away. And I attach it to the battery spot. Let me take it out and show you. So that's what it looked like. Without that, that's how it comes with. So normally you attach it like this, but there's no hole there, so, and you're not gonna try to do it like this, because that'll be just plain silly. So I cut a little piece off here to fit it into the hole that I showed you. Just a tiny little bit, not too much. This is something that's not official, so you kind of have to figure it yourself. Now with that in place, I can finally try to attach it. It's not a perfectly sturdy connection because it's not official, and if the peg is a little bit longer, you'll be able to cram it better, but it's not definitely not a perfect fit. But let's see how well it will hold. So a little shake test, still holding. So with that, I think we're ready to go. Doing this with all the other packs together is much more difficult than before when there was nothing else in the way. They do off the camera again. So with that in place, the illusion is complete for the Metal Build Perfect Strike Gundam. It's actually easier to pose with this because the Metal Build has a better inner frame. I have to improve on the Hawk that's gonna keep falling up forever. Maybe I'll glue that piece on next time. Come on, stay. That's probably the weakest part of this. Of course, you don't really expect to pose. You don't expect a lot of poses with the perfect strike Gundam, because it's just not meant to do so. You're already having so much on him, on both arms, and the backpack. He's back heavy, and he's got everything that he can hold held. So he also become heavier if he wasn't already heavy enough with the diecast. Now he's even heavier, so keep that in mind. Not gonna get much poses out of this guy, even on action breaks. But yeah, he got, other than his shield, I think he got pretty much everything in place. Oh yeah, one thing that's missing is the only thing that's missing is the attachment arm for the launcher and the weapon storage for the anti-ship sword on the other side. Unfortunately, there's no hole, so of course I'm not gonna make a hole just for that. This kind of modification, I'm only willing to do so if I'm not harming the figure. And yeah, even with that, his head cannot turn at all because now it's just fixed by the attachment from the Aile Striker pack. So I just want to share this with you. As you can see, it is possible to attach the perfect why do I keep saying perfect way? I mean perfect strike Gundam add-ons to him. And if you're not convinced, I'm gonna do a little shake test. And so far, nothing is falling off. And with a little bit of counterbalance, thanks to his sword and launcher in front, yeah, it's actually even possible to make him stand. Yeah, slowly rotate him. Don't need you anymore, action base. The battery's still intact. And since this is the Metal Build Aile Striker pack, you still have all the functionality as before. Like so. Can do a little bit better than that. Like that. Because now he's on the ground, so I guess the wings should be folded. But who cares? I'm still prefer to have the wings spread out because I think that's what most people would do. So put it back the way it was. So that does it for part 3 of my review of the Metal Build Strike Gundam, now turning into the perfect Strike Gundam Metal Build. One last word, even though I would always have the Metal Build Aile Striker pack because I think it's still the superior of the two compared with the Master Grade, I still wish there's a way to attach the Master Grade version of the Aile Striker pack onto the Metal Build Strike. That's because by doing so, I will allow it to have other options to attach the Otori pack, which uses the exact same connection, of course, as well as the IWSP pack. Which also use the same connection. So by using a spare parts and a little bit of creativity, I might be able to create an adapter, and if I succeed, I'm gonna make another part, which will be part 4. But as for now, I'm still gonna be able to enjoy the perfect Strike Gundam Metal Build. So that's it for my review. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'd love to answer them. Thanks for watching. And one more thing, don't stop building.